So, we're going to tell you another quick story about Rocco, and this is the reason that this is probably going to be pretty incriminating, because there's a warrant out for his arrest. Why is there a warrant out for his arrest, you ask? Well, let me explain. We were about 100 yards from his door, his front door.
Not even. We were at his door.
We were at his door, and he goes,
I have to use the bathroom. Let me lock up.
He locks the door, walks down the stairs from his house, down the block with us, and goes to the wall at the end of the block against the building. And he says, hey, watch the corner, and tell me...
I'm going to relieve myself.
And he says, tell me if you see any cop cars coming. So here is Ray and myself, and fat white guy, and Asian girl, just randomly standing on the corner in not exactly the greatest neighborhood or the greatest block. So the cops go by, and Ray says, hey,
wouldn't it suck if the red light just stopped in front of us, and that cop car would just be right there to see him taking that piss?
So the light turned red.
Right in front. And they're looking at us, and we're just standing there like, so.
And we're standing there like, Rocco, cop car.
Cop car?
Hey,
Rocco! He's drunk. He can't hear
we're
us.
all drunk. We're like, hey, cop car.
Psst. Psst.
Of course, later he blames us and goes, why did you guys say anything? Like, we told So, but yeah, that's why, the cops turned the car around, came up onto the corner.
They not even stopped in the corner. They drove the car onto the sidewalk.
Right. So we got a laugh out of it, and we're just standing there, and he's peeing, and he just turns around and is like...
The flights flash?
He goes, good evening, officers.
Need to see some ID?
Takes out his ID and goes through the whole process, and he's just like, we're just standing there. So he gets a summons to go to court. Not even a
ticket. He's just like, hey, there's no price on this ticket. And they're like, that's because it's a summons. You gotta go to court,
for
buddy.
Public urination.
Public urination.
And so he's supposed to go to court. He was supposed to go to court.
Instead, he went to Albany.
Right, he didn't go to court. So now there's a warrant out for his arrest for public urination. And we just find it hilarious. We can't stop laughing. Hey!
And it happened, what was it, almost 3 or 4 months ago? Oh, no, more. It was in April.
Yeah, it was a while ago. He's screwed by now. So, so, you know what? Tell the story about you and your ex.
Mr. X. Well, me and Mr. X were, doing what couples do best.
They're being intimate.
We were fucking like rabbits. And he proceeds to finish up upon my abdomen. Well, when doing so, he, sticks out his tongue. And I'm like, well, you want to taste some of that, huh? We're kind of chuckling about it, and he does it again. So I'm like, well, I guess he does. I thrust up my stomach so you can get a little taste of that, creamy sauce.
Its own brand.
So I'm like, so, how'd that taste? He's like, salty.
Speaking of bodily functions and such, and intimacy, so I was at a wedding a little while ago. I was at this wedding upstate in Buffalo for a cousin of mine, and so I was up there, and everyone was drunk. Everyone was just shit-faced, including my father, which was nice. But everyone at this one table was drunk, and, it was my cousin and his girlfriend and my mom, my dad. So we all go and sit down at this table, and we're all just kind of talking, and they start talking about the show Deadwood. I don't know if you've seen Deadwood, but apparently, I haven't seen it, but apparently it's rather dirty. My dad goes, well, it's a good show, but you can't talk about it in polite company, because you know, I saw one episode and it was just all about anal sex. It was like anal sex this and anal sex that. And he goes, I have no problem with anal sex. I like anal sex. So I stand up. This kind of smile, this kind of, you're paying for my therapy bill, you know, smile. Casually walk over to the bar. And at this point my mom had cut me off because she believed that I was too intoxicated. I wasn't, but that's probably from the opinion of someone who was too intoxicated. So I go over to the bar, and I lean onto the bar and I say, my dad just remarked that he enjoys anal sex. Whiskey sour, please. I got it! They gave me the whiskey sour. It was delicious. I wish I didn't remember that night.
You didn't obviously have enough whiskey sours.
Okay, you know who needed a couple of drinks? Your friend who sat down too fast.
Oh, wow. He wasn't really my friend. My
acquaintance.
A friend of mine was telling me he had one of his brother's friends over, and you think this guy's a little big. This guy was effing huge. He made Moby Dick look like Ally McBeal. Like, this guy was fucking enormous. So, he goes to the living room, and he sits on a wooden chair. He just gets up and just leans back in the chair, and then proceeds to lean forward. In that time he's leaning forward, he has this incredibly horrific shock on his face. And you can almost feel like he's screaming on the inside. The pain is so excruciating. And everyone's just like,
I fucking hate this story.
What's the matter? He's just like, I just sat on my ball. And nobody was kind of chuckling, not realizing how severe this was, because the guy couldn't stand. So they took him to the hospital, and apparently this guy literally squashed his testicle. Like,
thank you for the illustration, Ray. That's enough. God damn it. So, this has been story time. I guess that's about it. Hopefully, we'll have Ray on again at some point. Probably not for the next couple of days, because she's fucking sick and tired of me.
I just have a life. So I can...
What? I don't have a... Okay, no, I don't have... So, okay. This is Kit, here with Ray.
Signing off.